Alright, g'day guys. It is now cricket season. The Brisbane Lions girls just had a win today, so that was very good on a Sunday in December. So if you are watching, just won the premiership for the girls, which is pretty exciting. But now it is now cricket season. The BBL is coming underway. Hopefully the Scorchers do quite well again this season. And I got some tips and bits of handy advice ready for BBL 13. You got some codes to join to win some Krispy Kremes and a few others as well too. Looking forward to another good year. So let's go over the computer and have a look. Alright, let's go over to computer. Here we are. Now, this is our season ahead. We have got our fixtures. As you notice, there is only 10 games per team from 14 games the year before. They've cut down a few, so not everyone's going to play each other twice. In the first round, we have a triple header, triple game for Brisbane Heat. This is our first time we've ever had a triple game in one round for a team. Normally we have the double games and then also single games. So the double games are here and the single games are here. So on the first round, we've got Strikers, Hurricanes and Thunder all on the single. Then you got Scorchers, Renegade Stars, Sixers on double and Heat on the triple. However, thinking of the triple, it might be a bit of a conundrum because when you look at it, Brisbane Heat have to play the Stars on the Thursday, the 7th. Then they go across to Adelaide on the 9th. Then they play Thunder in Manuka in Canberra on the 12th. So that means they've got to play 3 games in like 6 days, which is going to be quite a tough turnaround. I'm not sure if all players are going to play in that. And plus Strikers and Thunder at their home ground are going to be quite tough to play. So there's also going to be quite a few players that are not playing either due to the Prime Minister's 11 game in this first round as well too, which I'll get to very soon. You've also got other teams, so what you're thinking, you might not have to go all Heat because you can spread out your players. And if you look, Heat and the Strikers have a bye in round 3 at the same time. However, Strikers have a double game week on round 2 and not anyone else has no double game week here. So you want to maybe consolidate on Strikers having the double game week. So you want to have probably like at least 3 or 4 Strikers in there. And then you can consolidate that. But you also got to watch out, Heat have the same bye. So you probably want to trade your Heat players to the Strikers players next week in round 2. You've also got loophole options. Round 1 to round 8 are the only rounds with no buys. All the rest have a bye and they're all relatively spread out a bit as well too. Got to watch out for the Scorchers. We got 2 buys back to back here. But looking like this, it'd be interesting. So you can a lot more easier to do your loopholes. That is where you put your vice captain. If your vice captain, say like Munro, scores 100 on the first game and you want to keep that, put the captain on a non-playing player. If, however, Munro scores like a 10 points and you don't want to keep that, put a captain on a different player. For example, for the first round, you got all these double gamers, so you might want to put a captain on one of these players instead. But that's just your loophole. You got to make sure you have a non-playing player though, if your back class captain does do well, or if you want to loop on the bench, you can also do that as well too. However, there's only 9 rounds, so the price is going to go up and down a lot faster than it has been in the past. And if you look at the women's one and the women's fantasy, they only had 10 games and one player went up like 300,000 in 1 week. So you've got to watch that and keep an eye out on that as well. The Hurricanes and also the Sixers are the only teams that don't have a bye in the whole season. So they pretty much play every week. Let's have a look at the Prime Minister's 11. So talking about that, that means Michael Nisa, Pearson and Renshaw won't be playing in the Heat. So that will open up spots to other players in the Heat. And the other ones are Cameron Bancroft. Hopefully he gets named in the test sometime throughout the season and the summer. He's been doing quite well the last few years and definitely deserves a spot, another shot at going again. You've also got Cam Green, Harris, McAndrew, Murphy. Those ones that we spoke about. Steketee has moved from the Heat and now he's at the Stars, and also Bo Webster. Having a look at the availability, thanks to Moneyball, for this. These are impacted players. You can see all the players here, and also you've got the dates of the tests. So obviously Australia test matches are all playing throughout the summer. So obviously, like players like Nathan Lyon, Mitch Marsh, and that will probably find it hard to actually play in their teams respectively. Last year, Scorchers end up still winning, even without Marsh for the whole season. Richardson Agar didn't play much, and also no drafted players. So it'll be interesting to see who actually wins it this year. Hopefully, Scorchers can do all right. It'll be 6 wins if they do it. There's only 13 seasons, so it's pretty much almost all of them. Yeah, they've made 8 grand finals so far out of 12, which is quite good, 75% worth. That is pretty much the impact of players. This is also the Australia's first test squad at the moment. So the ones that are named are Pat Cummins, Scott Boland, Alex Carey, Cam Green, Josh Hazelwood, Travis Head, Usman Karaja, Labuschagne, Nathan Lyon, Mitch Marsh, Morris, Steve Smith, Mitch Stark and Warner, like I just mentioned. About Mitch Marsh and also Nathan Lyon as well too. So they'll be, it looks like they're going to be playing there. Now, here is our league for you to join. 20473, this one here. 20473. I've also got some head-to-head ones, and also if you want me to join any last-minute ones, let me know. But this is our open league to join. 204,723, and you can win some Krispy Kremes if you win overall. Let's have a look at my team so far. This is obviously going to change a little bit. I'm also looking at my break-evens as well too. You can check your break-evens and see the prices. As I say, it's a shorter season, so the price is going to change a lot faster. So this is before break-evens and before final teams. Final teams for each game, for example, Heat and the Stars are playing first over here. You can see the fixturing. They play first on the Thursday. Each team gets announced a day before, but the final 11 gets announced about 45 minutes before the actual game. So about half an hour before, you'll find out the final 11. So it makes it a bit tricky if you are at work and you need to figure out who's in who and stuff like that. So I'm going to be obviously using my phone a lot and figuring all that out. But what I find I don't understand is we got first round from 7th to the 12th of December. But then look at round 2. It doesn't start until the 19th. So it's a 6-day break between there and there, which kind of silly, if that makes sense. I don't know why they do that but I think probably because of the test matches in the way. But still, I should have just started a week later and haven't put another round in at least or something like that. That could make it a bit more less boring. So as I say, you want to bank on your double gamers. I don't have too many single gamers at the moment. I've got a couple of strikers, but I'm going to probably add in one more as well. It's a couple of ones I'm still going to change around. Like, for example, Richardson has such a big break-even at the moment. He's got 157 break-even. Also, I've got Boyce and Shaw at the moment for strikers. I'm going to try and get at least 2 or 3. Then that way I'll be able to have 5 or so for the double game week and just bank on that. Because, as I say, looking at round 2, you can also look ahead. Strikers play Thunder at home, and then they play Sixers away. And they're the only team that has a double game week, so you've got to try and bank on that as well too. It's more important to bank on those ones when there's only single double gamers. Whereas this one, round 1, you can also have a couple of Renegades, because they got Renegades and Stars. They got a few double game weeks coming up, so you might want to bank on Renegades, Stars, a little bit of Heat. As I say, I don't really trust them as much, considering they have got a triple game week and they got quite a few hard games. A lot of games within 6 days, so they might not play all the time. I'm just trying to work out why Heat have a triple, and I see, because Scorchers have 2 double gamers. That makes a lot more sense. I was just looking at it because, yeah. Also, if you have any questions, make sure you post them below in the YouTube questions or on the comments, or you can also put them on the comments when I post it. Also, you can join the code as well to win Krispy Kremes. The code is, if I can actually load it, don't know what's happened here, 204,723, 204,723, and that's in our open leagues. Going back to our thing here, yep, that's it. Going back to this, also, the loopholes, as I mentioned at the start, is also really handy. it is part of the game, and a lot of people do it, and it also helps me to get up to 69th the other year as well too. I've managed to finish top 100 6 times. Tell us how you've gone, and also what sort of areas you're looking at, and what sort of players stand out for you. At the moment, I haven't really got any Thunder or Hurricanes at the moment. I've only got strikers as a single game players ready for the next round. But yes, interesting to see. You probably can trade some of your Heat players to also a few other ones as well too, once they have done their 3 triple games, because they only got single games up until round 7. It's going to be interesting to see which team performs the best as well too, and also new players that have changed teams. So, for example, Cam Bancroft is now off to the Thunder. Sam Whiteman comes back from the Thunder back to WA. We've also got Steckedy, who's gone across to the Stars. You've also got Harper, who's joined the Stars now. Harper did quite well. He got like 100 odd the other day. Also, Brown from the Heat, he got 124 in the practice warm-up, which is quite a good score, which is quite a huge score. Last year I had him, traded him out, then he went big, and I would have won the weekly as well if I didn't trade him out, so I'm spewing about that. But I have won the weekly before though. Also, as I say, there's one other player, there's a few other players, as I say, have moved around. Nathan Lyon is now at the Renegades, even though I don't think he's going to play too much because of the test match commitments. And it is a shorter season, so make sure you work on the prices and the changes as well too. I'll do some lives, Facebook lives, and maybe some more YouTube videos as well too. If you have any questions, as I say, let us know. Also, make sure you check out the Dream Team Asylum, BBL SuperCoach Legends as well too. They do quite good jobs. And yeah, as I say, the teams come out a day before the squads, and then the final 11 come out pretty much 30 minutes before the game. So keep an eye out on that. Each game locks out. So, for example, the first game is Adelaide and... Oh, I'm in round 2, hang on. First game is Heat versus the Stars. That means Heat and the Stars get locked out, but all the other players are still available to trade up until their time of their game, if that makes sense. Pretty straightforward, like the AFL. Like AFL fantasy, pretty much. So, yeah, I'm going to change a couple of things around, but I'm sure my team's going to be looking little different from what it is this time next week. And, yeah, any questions, let us know. Good luck, go Scorchers, and hopefully a good season ahead.